Good morning, Burley Glenwood boys and girls. It is time for area lesson 14.8. This is my second attempt at this lesson because I didn't like how the first one went. So here we go. So hopefully you have your digital version of your Common Core up and ready. I am going to screen share and walk you through the digital Common Core. So make sure you use my hints. It will help you do way better on them. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully your digital Common Core looks like my digital Common Core, a little bit different, but same. Okay, which number goes in the box to make this number sentence true? I notice there's a 4 and a multiplication sign. I notice there's a 4 and a multiplication sign. Whatever is in the parentheses, whatever you come up with there, needs to match over here. So that's how you do that first one. Number 2, which number has 0 tens? You are looking place value wise. You are looking for a 0 in the tens place. So remember, if we start all the way over on the right, it's ones, tens, hundreds. So make sure that you start on the right and look ones, tens, hundreds. Okay. Estimation. So remember, estimate means round. So I'm going to get my little pen ready. I notice all of these answers are rounded to the hundreds place. So I'm going to round to the hundreds place. So I have 210. I have 374. I have 275. Shauna has a collection of 210 yellow drinking glasses. Highlight that yellow so that I can pay attention to it. 374 blue drinking glasses and 275 red. Pink is as close as I get to red. About how many blue and red? So I need the red and I need the blue. Now remember, I am rounding to the hundreds place. So you are rounding 374 to the nearest hundreds place. 5 or above, give it a shove. 4 below, let it go. So there's a 7. So we want to shove that to the next 100. Okay, 275, 5 or above, give it a shove. 4 below, let it go. A 7 needs to get shoved to the next hundreds place. Then it says, about how many of those two does she have together you want to add. Make sure you show your work. Okay, number 4, Mr. Eek is building a fence around his backyard for his pet dog. How much fencing should he buy? So this is a perimeter problem. So we have 24, 10, 24, and 10. Now, you could sing the silly song, perimeter is around, oh, oh, don't you know, perimeter is around, you add up all the sides, oh, oh, don't you know, you add up all the sides. Okay, so make sure that you add that up and do label it yards. You're not going to use little itty bitty 2 because we're doing linear, we're not doing area. Okay, number 5, find the area of the rectangle below. So I'm reminding you about the formula. Please type it out. A equals length times width. It tells me my length is 20. So please type in 20. And then it tells me my width is 5. Please type in 5. Now remember, you can do it like a base fact. You can do 2 times 5 is, and then put that extra 0 on the end. Okay, now let's go to video land. Okay, while I'm up here, I'm going to activate the computer sound. So get that out of our way, go find the video.
Can rectangles have different areas but the same perimeter? Think about this question during the lesson. Beth, Marcia, and Nancy built a rectangular pen for their rabbits. Each pen has a perimeter of 12 feet. Which rectangular pen has the greatest area? What information are you given? You are given the dimensions of 3 different rectangular pens. What are you asked to find? You are asked to find the rectangular pen that has the greatest area. Why do you want to find the rectangular pen with the greatest area?
So the creature will have the most space.
The rectangular pen with the greatest area will be the pen with the most space for rabbits. Before finding the area of the rectangular pens, let's discuss the perimeter of the pens. Recall that the perimeter is the distance around a figure. How do you find the perimeter of rectangles?
You add both sides.
To find the perimeter of a rectangle, add the lengths of all 4 sides. What is the perimeter of Beth's pen? Let's find out. What are the lengths of the sides of Beth's pen? The lengths of the 4 sides of Beth's pen are 5 feet, 1 foot, 5 feet, and 1 foot. Find the sum. The sum of the side lengths is 12, so the perimeter is 12 feet. What is the formula for finding the area? The formula for area is area equals base times height. What are the values for the base and height?
So on this video, they throw base times height at you. It's the same thing as length times width. The formulas are the same. You're using the same values.
Substitute 5 for base and 1 for the height. What is the area of Beth's pen? Beth's pen has an area of 5 square feet. How are the perimeter and area different? Perimeter is a measurement of the distance around a figure. Area is a measurement of the space inside a figure. What is the perimeter of Nancy's pen? Let's find out. Find the sum of all 4 side lengths. The perimeter is 12 feet. What is the area? Let's find out. Substitute the values for the unknowns and solve. Nancy's pen has an area of 8 square feet. How does the area of Nancy's pen compare to the area of Beth's pen? The area of Nancy's pen is greater than the area of Beth's pen. What is the perimeter of Marcia's pen? Let's find out. Find the sum of all 4 side lengths. The perimeter is 12 feet. Now find the area of Marcia's pen. Substitute the values for the unknowns and multiply. Marcia's pen has an area of 9 square feet. Whose pen has the greatest area? Marcia's pen has the greatest area, 9 square feet. Now you know rectangles can have different areas, but the same perimeter.
There we go. Okay, now I need to zoom in so that we can see it better. So you're going to do a lot of copy and pasting on this particular lesson. So remember, to copy, you're going to click on whatever you want and do Control C, and then do Control V to paste down a copy of it. Okay, and then same with this guy. You're going to want to copy that. So Control C, Control V. And if you're using a Chromebook, it's a double tap with your, or you do 2-finger tap, and then you select copy and select paste. Okay, so it's asking us how many different rectangles can you draw that have a perimeter of 16 units. I already put one down for you. This one has 16 units. We have to find the area. So let's count the squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It has an area of 7 square units. Okay, on this next guy, I can't use the same exact one. I have to make it different. I'm going to shorten it by 1 and make it bigger by 1. And then I'm going to double check to make sure that it really still has a perimeter of 16. So remember, the kind of like the shortcut for perimeter is do 2 of your sides add up to half the perimeter. Half my perimeter, 16, half of that is 8. So I need these 2 sides to add to 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that works. My shape still has a perimeter of 16. Now I need to count its area. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. That works. As my shape gets bigger, touch counting is not going to be the most efficient strategy. Multiplying the length and the width is going to be more efficient. Okay, so right now I have only made 2 shapes. I can make more than that. So I'm going to grab both of them, Control C, Control V, and that way I made a copy of both. Okay, I'm going to bring it down here. My perimeter is going to stay the same. I'm going to have to change the area though. So I'm going to make it shorter by 1 and longer by 1 going that way. So my perimeter should be the same. Let's double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 5 plus 3 is 8. Double that, I get 16. So that still works. Now let's use that length times width strategy. 5 times 3 is, hopefully you're thinking, 15. So we notice our area is getting significantly larger. This one was 7. This one was 12. This one is now 15. It's more than twice as big as our first shape. We can do one more. So Control C, Control V. Now I'm going to slide it down here. So I am going to shrink it by 1, going this direction. Make it grow by 1 going this direction. And now I'm going to double check to make sure its perimeter is still 16. 4 plus 4 is 8. Double 8, I get 16. So that still works. Now area, length, we're going to do length times width. 4 times 4 is, oh, isn't that spiffy? Both its perimeter and its area are 16. That's kind of cool. So now let's go up and make sure that we've answered what they were asking. How many different rectangles can you draw with a perimeter of 16 units? How many did we draw? 4. So I'm going to type that out. Do they each have the same area? Explain. So I'm going to copy this so that I don't have to insert a brand new text box. And I'm going to type in there. So I drew 4 rectangles with a perimeter of 16 units. And I need to put a space there. My space bar doesn't always work. Now I'm going to change this a little bit. Their areas are all different. There we go. One thing I want you to notice, and this is a key learning for this lesson, is that the more a shape approaches a square, the larger its area. So the longer and skinnier, the smaller the area, the closer it is. I can't really do a square. Oh. The closer you get to a square, the larger the area. That's a huge learning point for this lesson. Okay, now our next slide. For 1 through 4, you're going to use grid paper, and I was nice. I pre-plugged grid paper in there for you. You want 2 different rectangles with whatever perimeter they tell you, and you need to give the dimensions of that shape and then circle the one that has the greater area. Well, we already did 16 feet on the other slide. So I'm going to go back over and I'm going to grab this guy. So I'm going to Control C, Control V, and now I got to move him over to where I want him. I'm going to plop him over here. There we go. So this one is 1 foot by, I believe it was 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. So that's a 1 by 7. Its perimeter is 16, but its area was 7. So that guy's done. Okay, now this guy, his dimensions are 4 by 4. Its perimeter was still 16. And if you don't remember what its area is, then just go back to this slide and see, oh, yep, it was 16. There we go. Its area is 16. So we are done. What? No, not quite done with number 1. We have to circle the one with the greater area. So I pre-plugged you some circles. This one has the bigger area. So that's the one I'm going to circle. This guy's got the bigger area. There we go. Totally tell I mean to circle that one. Okay, number 2. We want to make a shape with a perimeter of 20 centimeters. Remember, we're going to look at 2 of our sides adding to half of the perimeter. So half of 20 is 10. So I need 2 numbers that add to 10. Why don't we do a 1 by 9? So it's going to be a long, skinny guy. There's my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I just said it was going to be a 1 by 9. So remember, for area, I can do length times width. Here's my dimensions. 1 times 9 is 9. Now, is there any way to make a square with a perimeter of 20? Well, half of 20 is 10. Do I have a number that I can add to itself to get 10? Oh, 5. So I'm going to grab this guy. Oh, no, I can't grab that guy because he's hiding under the circle. And I want to try to do a 5 by 5. So is that 5? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. Let's see. Is that 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, that works. So 5 plus 5 is 10, and 10 plus 10 is 20. So that gives me that perimeter of 20. Okay, now remember, for area, I can do length times width. So 5 times 5 is 25. So it has a significantly larger area than the other guy. So let's grab him. There we go. Oh, I thought I stretched it. Guess not. There we go. Stretch. That one's quite a bit bigger. Let it come down a little so I can see. Okay, now I got to go up to the top. Let's see what we're asked to do there. Okay, 24 inches. Well, I need two sides that would add to half of 24. Half of 24 is 12. So what plus what is 12? I'm not sure if I can do a 1 by 11 and have room for something else, but let's see. Let's see if I can do my 1 by 11 right here. So there's my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we said that that was a 1, oh, whoops, by 11. And please change my mess up here. That's feet, and that should be inches, so change that. Okay, our perimeter was 24. 1 times 11 is 11. I'm gonna do a little space. Okay, now half of 24 was 12. Are there two numbers the same, so I can get that square concept going, that add to 12? Hopefully you just thought 6 plus 6. So let's make this 6. Is that 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That works. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, this guy is a 6 space, 6 space. So the perimeter, oh, I messed up here. This needs to say 24. So please fix that. Don't leave that as 16. Sometimes when I do copy paste, I mess up. So you're not the only one that boo-boos. Okay, so now we need to think for area, it's length times width. So 6 times 6 is, hopefully you just thought 36. Now we want to grab this, bring it over, and the square is significantly larger area-wise, more than 3 times the size of this guy. So even though they have the same perimeter, the square gives a lot more area. So if you were making a pen for your dog would much rather have a square than this long skinny guy. Okay, now 40 meters. I don't know that I have enough room for a super long skinny, but maybe I can do a 2 by. Ooh, well, let's see. Let's see if I can do a super long skinny. So I would need it to be 1 by 19. I am not sure I can do 1 by 19, but let's see. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Ooh, yay, 19, that worked. So we just said that that was a 1 by 19. So 1 times 19 for the area, for length times width. So that is going to have an area of 19 square meters. So now I'm going to copy paste, Control C, Control V. So for the other guy, I need to think, what's half of 40? That would be 20. Now what are two numbers that add to 20? Hopefully you just went, oh, 10 plus 10. So let's see, is that about 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Whoops, it's 1 too long. Okay, now I need to have it be 10 going the other way. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yay, I had just enough room. They don't overlap. Okay, so I need to label this. This was a 10 by 10. Okay, so our perimeters are still 40 for both shapes, but look how much more space is inside that square. That's huge. So remember, for area, we are doing length times width. We are doing 10 times 10, and that is a big number. That's 100. So 20 times 5 is 100. So that square is more than 5 times as large as the skinny rectangle. So that's one that we can definitely see the difference. That's pretty impressive. Okay. So for a lot of you, this is your stopping point for Friday. There's a few of you that like to zoom on ahead and get the whole work mat done. You are welcome to. Say hi to my kitty in the background. But those of you that want to stop, you may stop here and do the rest of it on Monday. Okay, number 5. In the example above, what do you notice about the area of the rectangles as the shape becomes more like a square? So this is one that I had to do some editing on because they had a typo in the book. So if you're like, why does the font look different? That's why. Okay, as the shape gets closer to a square, the area, we're going to say, gets bigger. Okay, so we really notice that in this last one. So as this perimeter was more a square, the area just exploded in comparison to this other shape. So that one was a real obvious one. Okay. Number 6, Austin is building a rabbit pen with 24 feet. So this is one I changed also because the original problem was 25. And I was like, nope, not doing that. Okay, so he's got this 24 feet of fencing. What are the dimensions of the rectangle he should build to have the greatest possible area? So we want to think first, what is half of 24? 12. Now, what are two numbers that add together to be 12? We want the biggest space possible inside. So let's think about what we did here. Is there a way to do a square? Are there any numbers that plus themselves gets 12? And hopefully you just went, oh, yeah, 6. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I've got to go this way, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That uses all 24 feet of fencing. So it's going to be a 6 by 6 rectangle, has the largest area of a rectangle with a perimeter of 24 feet. And I forgot to say what its area is going to be. So I'm going to type that on, and I'll give a special extra bonus point for anybody that also types this. Its area is 36 square feet. So I'm going to make that purple so that I remember that that was something that I changed and I added. So if you add that on, I'm going to give you a special bonus point. So, oh, let's make it red. Then it'll really jump out at me. And maybe my poor brain will remember it. Okay. And if I forget, you just message me in Google Classroom and remind me that I said I'd give a bonus point for students that did that. Okay, we are done with number 6. Okay, now on the rest of this, it would take you too long. It would be way far out of that half hour of math if you tried to do all of them. So you need to pick evens or odds, your choice. I am going to kind of pick and choose for certain ones. So I'm going to start with number 7 because I've got plenty of room for that guy. I tried to rearrange the spacing so that there'd be enough room. So I'm going to do odds. So I want a perimeter of 10. Half of 10 is 5. So I need my sides to add to 5. 1, well, 2 of my sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's double check. 1 plus 4 is 5. 1 plus 4 is 5. 5 plus 5 is 10. So this is a 1 by 4. And its area is 4. Okay, now I'm going to copy. Control C, V. Now, there's no way to do a square on this one. If I did a 2 by 2, then that's only got a perimeter of 8, but it's close. Okay, so I've got a 2 by 3, because 2 plus 3 is 5, and 5 plus 5 is 10. And this one has a perimeter, not a perimeter, an area. 2 times 3 is 6. So again, I am asked to put a circle around the one with the greater area. It's not hugely bigger, but it is still bigger. This guy is still the bigger one. So you want to circle that one if you're doing your shape the same as mine. Okay, so my next odd one is number 9. So you'll notice number 9 is here and number 10 is here. So I'll have to look carefully and, oh, you know what you could do? You could maybe circle which one you're doing. So I'm doing number 9. So I'm going to rotate this so that I know I did number 9. Let's see, can I grab my square that's under there? No, I covered my square up. Okay, let me grab this guy first. And then I'll bring that back down. Okay, 26 yards. So half of 26 is 13. I need 2 numbers that add to 13. How about a 1 by 12? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I have 1 yard by 12 yard. So my perimeter is 26 yards. 26 yards. Okay, now my area is 1 times 12. So my area is 12 square yards. That's my abbreviation for yards. Okay, now I need a bigger one. Still have to have a perimeter of 26 because that's what I circled there. Okay, half of 26 is 13. What are 2 numbers closest to each other that equal 13? 6 and 7. So I'm going to see if I can do a 6 by 7. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If I did that right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. And now I need this one 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I'm going to scoot the whole thing over 1. There we go. So I said this was 6 yards by 7 yards. Now, if you don't have to do a 6 by 7, you could do a 5 by something, you could do a 4 by something, you could do a 3 by something. It's your choice. You don't have unlimited space there, so you have to make sure that your shapes don't overlap or touch each other. So my perimeter is still 26 yards. Okay, now 6 times 7 is 42, and this was yards. There we go. Now, which one clearly has the bigger area, 12 or 42? Well, 42 is clearly way, way bigger. So I'm going to circle that guy. I'm going to try to circle that guy. There we go. So remember, you are either doing evens or odds. You are not doing all. It would take you too long. Okay, I was doing odds, so I'm going to stick with odds. So perimeter, I need to find the perimeter of this shape, and I need to find the area of that shape. So 4 plus 5 is 9. 9 plus 9 is 18. Okay, now for area, length times width. 4 times 5 is 20. Okay, now they want me to come up with another shape that has the same perimeter. So what are two numbers that add to 9? I can do a 1 by 8. Okay, 1 by 8. Okay, the perimeter is, now that's still going to be 18. That's the whole idea here. Now the area is not the same. 1 times 8 is 8. Okay, then it says, tell which rectangle has the greater area. So if you're watching the video, you're going to see why I put these circles here and why I turned them sideways. What I want you to do is I want you to circle the part that has the greater area. So this one, this top guy, has the greater area. Okay? Now off to number 13, since I am doing odds. So the perimeter is, well, let's figure that out. I have 5 plus 9 is 14. 14 plus 14 is 28. Oh, I've got it mislabeled. I thought I had fixed that. Booger butts. Okay, so please label this centimeters. And I will try to fix that before you all get it loaded. Okay, centimeters. Oh man, they're all wrong. I'm talented. Okay, remember to fix it, Mrs. Mears. Okay, the area, remember for area, length times width. So I'm doing 9 times 5. Count by 5s really quick or do the hand trick for 9s. And hopefully you came up with 45. Okay, now I need a different rectangle that 2 of its sides add to 14. Ooh, how about 7 and 7? That would work. 7 by 7. Okay, the perimeter is still going to be 28. Now the area, length times width, or remember for a square, it's just side squared, or side times side. So 7 times 7 is 49. Okay, now I need to show which one has the greater area. And in this case, it's my second one. It's the 7 by 7 because 49 is larger than 45. Not by a huge amount, but it still is. So, okay, now you'll notice I starred some of the problems. So if you are like, I love math, I want to do all the problems, go for it. But for the rest of us, we are doing the starred items because otherwise we would spend too much time on this lesson, more than Mr. Grant and the district said we could. So rectangles X and Y have the same perimeter. Without measuring or multiplying, how can you tell which rectangle has the greater area? So that takes us back to the key point in this lesson. And the key point was, as a shape gets closer to a square, the area gets bigger. Oops, wrong page. There we go. That's the page I want. Rectangle. So which one is more like a square? Hopefully you're going, well, this guy is. So we're going to say rectangle Y has a larger area because the closer a rectangle is to a square, the larger its area. There we go. So Pause the video, type that down. Okay, let's look at our next starred item. There's one at the top. Suppose you arrange counters into groups. The first group has 3 counters. Each group after that has 2 more counters than the group before. How many groups do you need to use all 48 counters? So yesterday when I did this video, I was like, oh my God, this is a terrible problem. But once you work it, you're like, oh, it's not as bad as it looks. So we are making groups. Our first group has 3. Then it tells us the next group has 2 more than 3. So that would be 5. So now we're up to a total of 8 counters. Our next group has 2 more than 5. That's 7. So we are up to a total of 15 counters. Our next group has 9. So we were at 15. Now we are at 24. We are halfway there. So we need 2 more numbers that are going to add to 24. So our next number, 9 plus 2 is 11. And then our next number, 11 plus 2 is 13. Well, let's look and see. What is 13 plus 11? 13 plus 11 is 24. Our previous 4 numbers added to 24. 24 plus 24, that gets us to that 48 that we wanted. Now we have to look and see how many groups was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That was 6 groups. Oopsie, if I can type correctly. There we go, 6 groups. So that one, once you work it through, it's not as ugly or as confusing as it seemed like from the get-go. Okay, number 19. Which statement about the rectangles to the right is true? There's some problems like this that are going to show up in the quick check. So let me read them. They both have the same height. So is 1 the same as 2? They both have the same base. Is 3 the same as 4? They both have the same perimeter. 2 plus 3 is 5. 2 plus 3 is 5. 5 plus 5 is 10. 1 plus 4 is 5. 1 plus 4 is 5. 5 plus 5 is 10. They both have the same area. 2 times 3 is 6. 1 times 4 is 4. Hopefully, as we were doing that, you were like, well, hello, whoopsie. Hate it when it does that. Hopefully you figured it was the perimeter one. Now, I am hoping before Friday, when you guys actually do the quick check, the teachers and I will figure out how to get rid of an item, because there's an item in here that does not make any sense, and I'm hoping we can delete it. If we can't, then we will just look through everybody's digital quick check and we will remove that item ourselves and change your score. So which of the figures described below does not have the same perimeter as rectangle A? So make sure that you have your own digital quick check up, or you got a piece of paper so that you can jot down what you think the answer is while you're watching the video. So we're looking for the one that is false, doesn't work. So they're asking about perimeter, not the same perimeter. So 3 plus 7 is 10. 10 plus 10 is 20. So you are trying to figure out which of these would not have a perimeter of 20. So 5 plus 2 is 7. 7 plus 7 is 14. 5 plus 5 is 10. 10 plus 10 is 20. 4 plus 6 is 10. 10 plus 10 is 20. 8 plus 2 is 10. 10 plus 10 is 20. There was one of them that was different. Okay, which statement about the rectangles is true? So we have a 3 by 5 and we have a 4 by 4. They both have the same width. Is 3 equal to 4? They both have the same length. Is 4 equal to 5? They both have the same perimeter. 3 plus 5 is 8. 3 plus 5 is 8. 8 plus 8 is 16. 4 plus 4 is 8. 4 plus 4 is 8. 8 plus 8 is 16. They both have the same area. 3 times 5 is 15. 4 times 4 is 16. Okay, this is the one I'm hoping to delete, so I am not going to even read it to you. Is that my third grade team? Okay, Claire is building a dog run in the shape of a rectangle. She wants it to have a perimeter of 24 feet. Which measurements will give the dog run the greatest area? So you want to pick whichever one will give you a shape closest to a square, but remember the perimeter has to be 24 feet. Okay, last one. One rectangle is 2 feet tall and 5 feet wide. Another rectangle is 4 feet tall and 3 feet wide. Which of these statements is true? They both have the same area. 2 times 5 is 10. 4 times 3 is 12. They both have the same base. 5, 3. They both have the same height. 2, 4. They both have the same perimeter. 5 plus 2 is 7. 7 plus 7 is 14. 4 plus 3 is 7. 7 plus 7 is 14. So hope you listened to the hints I gave, and hopefully I'll be able to figure out how to delete number 3 so that it won't show up for you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've had a wonderful week because this lesson lands on Thursday and Friday of next week for me. For you guys, it's your current week. And hopefully we're having good weather. So we will talk to you later. Bye.